But a lack of cell phone coverage isn't just an issue on Highway 385. Right now, I'm standing in the middle of the Black Hills. If I had an emergency right here, with my lack of cell phone coverage, I'd be out of luck, and 911 would not be an option. During the day, you run Midwest 90 and serve patrons a smorgasbord of Midwest cuisine, all locally sourced from a rundown meat market at Tuscany Square. However, there is something different about these dishes.
I conducted a one-off experiment, counting out how many drivers would fail to change lanes.
2, 3, 4 vehicles in a row that did not move over. 5 vehicles in a row that did not move over while a tow truck operator who's behind this camera was operating. And to be honest, something like this is the reality of tow truck operators every single day when they're moving vehicles around.
These agreements are contracts that allow volunteer fire departments to both fight and receive reimbursement for responding to structure fires. However, we've obtained redacted documents from the Bureau of Indian Affairs, termination letters sent in the middle of fire danger season and without warning in violation of the FPAs that are in place.
What you're seeing behind me is a map of the Bureau of Indian Affairs Emergency Response Network across Pine Ridge. Their fire departments covered this area of the reservation indicated in orange, but their firefighters only battle wildfires. For structure fires, their fire departments don't have any coverage. But now, the Oglala Sioux tribe is laying the foundation for something new and desperately needed. Across the street from the Reed's place, Tom and Sue Kelly, parents of former homeowner Chad Kelly, pushed their son to move away from his Hideaway Hills residence, which had previous sinkhole issues in 2007. Fast forward 13 years, 3 weeks after Chad moved out, this hole opened up.
It was getting dangerous for the dog to be in the backyard.
Around this time of year, most people would be spending their time on the slopes.
Or staying home and playing a video game.
But a mild day in January allowed for a peculiar winter activity.
On a day like today, most people are spending their time hitting the links. The Wiener and Nutmobile will be in Rapid City until August 24th when they head up to Billings, Montana. Relishing the opportunity, I'm Dominik Dausch. Exploring places unknown is what drives local caving groups like Paasapa Grotto, which is why I joined them on a cave expedition to get a taste of their adventures.
What is so special about a hole in the ground? With questions of my own, I reached out to Paasapa Grotto, a local caving organization, to fill me in. They told me I would only get my answers by exploring a cavern of my own. With their help, I and our digital content manager geared up for an underground expedition. Knee pads, check. Elbow pads, check. Helmet, check. With all our equipment in order, the grotto brought us to a secret cave in the Black Hills. Its name withheld to maintain its privacy, and soon enough, we entered total darkness. Once inside, our guides walked us through the cavern. Walking became kneeling. Kneeling became crawling. And eventually, we found ourselves squeezing through tight tunnels.
I've hit my head so many times going through this cave so far.
So am I.
I'm too tall. You've been doing this for a while. Do you still bump your head a lot when you're going through a cave?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I always wear a helmet for that very reason. If you folks have never seen Dominik, who's doing this interview, he's very tall. I'm very short, so it helps me a little bit. Every once in a while, you'll get like a kind of what you would call like a compressor where it like slams your helmet down on top of your head. That happens every once in a while. Those are the ones that stop you for a moment.
Vehicle towing, a job critical to traffic safety that comes with its own responsibilities.
We have to clear the road so that way people can get on their day. We pick up broke down cars, do recoveries on accidents.
And risks.
The weather and people not moving over, you always have to have your head on a swivel.
Tow truck drivers like Casey Olson of Olson Towing operate on interstate and highway roads every day, where cars often travel at speeds as high as 80 miles per hour in South Dakota. 2 rules of the road: get into the other lane or drive 20 below the speed limit are sometimes ignored by drivers. A real consequence of someone not giving tow crews room to work. Tow operator Dale Jones killed in the line of duty, hit by an out-of-control motorist in early January near Watertown.
It always hits home, you know? I mean, even though it's a different company, he's one of us.
Every job has its risks, but Olson says when tow drivers travel in huge trucks, flash emergency lights, and always wear high-vis vests, there's no excuse for inattentive driving.
Of course, you get a little angry because it could have been prevented if people would abide by the law.
Chislik is a regional delicacy in South Dakota. This deep-fried dish, not so much.
The Zoid deep fried eyeball, which is like a just giant eyeball, and it's just surrounded by fries as well.
But if you have a strong stomach, this eye-popping video game might sate your appetite. Midwest 90 Rapid City is a PC game in development by Hidden Chest Studios, a small indie game studio almost 9,000 miles away in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Players are given their own diner right across from Interstate 90 where Rushmore Mall's Red Lobster would be, but this diner is set in an alternate future.
The twist is the dishes are made from monster meat. So we have one dish which is called the Zoiger, which is actually a Zoid burger. So it just looks like a normal burger, but it's got something a little bit different about it there, which is the blue glow.
However, once the sun sets, mutated Black Hills wildlife approach the roadside sanctuary under the cover of night. Where do the monsters come from then? How do they originate?
Well, that's a mystery. I mean, I can't really tell you about that.
But perhaps the bigger mystery is why a Malaysian video game studio chose Rapid City, of all places, as the stage for their Stranger Things-esque story.
So I started doing a lot of research into the Midwest. Really fascinating stuff, especially South Dakota. I mean, there's so much for me to draw inspiration from, especially the western side, yeah? And at the center of all of this is Rapid City, you know? So.
And despite being created on the other side of the planet, in a weird way, South Dakotans could feel right at home in this novel take on Midwest cuisine.
And if circumstances were better, I would have surely revisited Rapid City to learn more about the city and its people, just to give the game a better sense of place.